Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Mecole Hardman to return it from his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. The 40. Mecole Hardman. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Cleveland. And that right there is how you silence the home crowd.
All week long in preparation, visiting teams talk about it. Okay, we've got to start fast. We've got to take the crowd out of it, as you just talked about there. We've got to control the ball early. And in this case, forget fast start. This is a blazing start. What they've talked about all week is their offensive unit doing that. Not necessarily the guys returning the opening kickoff, but believe me, they'll take this.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. York now for the extra point. And it's good. And they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. How to get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Going for the deep ball. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And the Browns are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Watson's throw into the hands here of Hardman. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain there of 21 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Watson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in.
Under pressure, they got him again. Odafe Oweh able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense. So he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? They'll look to throw. And that's caught at the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse it. This is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Jackson. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Jackson to Bateman there for the Baltimore first.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at the Browns 17. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 21-0 our score after 1. Jackson will keep it. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Lamar Jackson with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It was Denzel Ward in from his corner spot there to take him down for the loss.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Throwing is Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Watson. A bootleg. Steps away. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Watson. Throwing for Chubb, complete on the out route. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Corey Bojorquez to punt this thing away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. So that a 56-yard punt with a 14-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
But that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Wallace. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That puts him in excellent position, 1st and goal after a gain of 19.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Jadeveon Clowney. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Now it's Watson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Fielded just inside the 20. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with the lead. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So out of the locker rooms here they come. Their first drive of the 3rd quarter. And Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, but we got a tight one and set up to be a very entertaining second half.
And as we know, partner, in the NFL, there's trailing and there's trailing, right? Sometimes you're discouraged by how much you're down, but in this case, this is a tight ball game, so there's a sense of optimism here. I think they went in at the half and looked at their play sheet and said, these are the plays we really like. What do you say we use them to start the second half and get us going?
After the sack on first down, Jackson, that's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a hit. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Play action. It's Jackson. complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain of 31 on third down.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's going to try and go deep again. And that is incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again is Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4. And it brings up third down on the sack. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left. Roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to...
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 36, Watson. And he'll get this one to Cooper, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 22 yards there, a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Got a man here, it's Bryant. Touchdown! Harrison Bryant, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Browns go up by 2 touchdowns. Oh, this is blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. He's at the 40, past the 20. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. That is a play that you just do not see very often, maybe a couple times a year. The blocked extra point return for 2.
You can't afford to give anyone a free run at the kicker. Oftentimes, he's going to bounce off his hands or chest and head the other direction.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
We're in Baltimore, 3rd quarter action, 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And here he's got Graham. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. A couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got his receiver, Cooper. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Watson off play action. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Tyus Bowser blowing that play up.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it. And they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. Was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. To throw is Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, this defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick six.
And how about the way they've played this entire game? Not only they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick sixes, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Grant Delpit. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Ravens are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the 4th quarter.
That certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
Yeah, still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Greg Newsome. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Watson now to throw. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
And you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Justin Madubuike firing across the line there and planning him for a loss. 2nd down, here's Chubb again. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Off of play action, it's Watson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns, and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
And he's going to go down again. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Browns come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after